the markets are got caught a little bit off guard. Again, we talked about these unexpected exogenous events. We had DeepSeek last week, last Monday, we've got tariffs today. Monday's just getting to be a really bad day for the markets. Here's what you need to know before the bell about tariffs. Markets have been doing okay here as of late. The big thing is that markets have been really in a very, very big trading range now for really the last couple of months. Had this kind of sell-off in December. Early January, market rallied back post the inauguration, got back to overbought levels. And so then we've had DeepSeek and now tariffs pulling the market back. Market's going to open right around, a little bit below the 50-day to 20-day moving average. We'll see if the market's going to kind of rally back. This is kind of that knee-jerk open. What we're going to be looking for this morning is see if the market can find some support here, start to try to process what the market thinks about these tariffs and what the impacts are going to be, and see where the market kind of stabilizes today. If we start taking out major levels of support, again, there's a bit of a reduction here that we could go through and come back down to retest the 100-day moving average, kind of like we did back in December and early January. We could have that same type of pullback here. Again, that would be 2-3%, and we'll see how the markets react. But again, markets already starting to work off that overbought condition, starting on Friday with that little bit of sell-off we had when really this was kind of first announced, kind of mid-afternoon on Friday. And we're very close to triggering a sell signal. So again, a bit more selling pressure in the markets. We're going to get a sell signal that could push markets down. Right now, markets are just really kind of in this big consolidation range. And so far, there's not any reason to be overly concerned about things because we really haven't done much except just kind of trade within this big band. So as long as we kind of stay in this band, there's not a whole lot to worry about. Again, it can be volatile. And we're going to certainly see that today in particular as we'll see volatility pick up. In fact, we've got a fairly large jump in volatility this morning, but starting to show back up. And again, we had volatility spiked up, on DeepSeek. We'll immediately reverse that. Now we're getting this spike in volatility this morning. We've had more and more of these as of late. So we're starting to see volatility pick up. We had a very quiet market last year as markets were rallying, not a lot of volatility. Starting to see a bit more of that, and volatility is actually going on to a buy signal here. So again, this could translate into a bit more rise in volatility here in the short term, a little bit more turmoil as markets continue to try to process what the impact of tariffs are going to be on the overall market. The other big winner today, I shouldn't say winner, but it's one of the other big impacts is the dollar. The tariffs, of course, dragging more reserves into the U.S. dollar to try to avoid the impact of tariffs, currency exchanges, etc. So if I'm a foreign country and I've got exposure in my reserves to the U.S. dollar, I can buy the U.S. dollar to offset that. So we're seeing money flows into the U.S. dollar fairly sharply to try to offset that bid on tariffs. So we'll see kind of how that plays out. But again, the dollar also very close to a buy signal here. Now, stronger dollar is monetary tightening. It's going to impact markets as well as the dollar gets stronger. So again, that's kind of another headwind between that and volatility. That's another headwind that we could see a bit more of the market struggle here for the month. And again, as I was saying, February tends to be a fairly weak month anyway. And the combination of these events right now are currently setting up for that month to kind of play out fairly weak here as we kind of work through this. Overbought conditions getting worked off, potential sell signal getting worked off. That's going to take several weeks. So kind of expect now, again, as we talked about, kind of rebalancing risk over the last couple of weeks. Kind of expect a month of a bit sloppy trading here. It's possible, particularly with kind of all these headwinds that are coming in right now. So just continue to manage risk, nothing to be overly concerned about right now. We'll just kind of monitor these situations as they develop and make changes accordingly. But that's what you need to know before the bell this morning.